Hello, I'm Otto and welcome back to the Dyson Sphere program. So in the last episode, we set up some plastic and are feeding that into organic crystals. We need the organic crystals for titanium crystals. And we also set up a little bit of sulfur here at the end just so that we could keep our refined oil going because we are starting to get a little bit clogged up on the refined oil. We needed a little bit of a dump for it, and all of these will kind of serve as a dump. You can see that we are not we're not collecting any more hydrogen, and that is kind of a problem. Don't worry, our hydrogen problems will be solved soon enough because we will hopefully in the next couple of episodes be able to start tapping the local gas giant, which contains both hydrogen and fire ice. The fire ice will break down into both graphene and hydrogen, so that is kind of a two-part hydrogen system. We will get it from the planet itself, and we will get it from the fire ice. The sulfuric acid, we can also use a little bit of the sulfuric acid for graphene, at least some early graphene. Most of the graphene that we will be consuming will be coming from the fire ice from the gas giant. But anyways, so in this episode, there's a couple more things that we need before we can make some yellow science, and we're going to be making a lot of that in this section here. We are going to drop a couple of our buddies. We'll move them just for now. We will have these somewhere over here, maybe another one like that. We're also going to tear a lot of this down. We don't need any more of this, and the reason why is because we used our new bot mall to make some hydrogen fuel. Yes, please. Awesome. We do not have any spray coaters. We're going to need some spray coaters soon, so I'm going to go ahead and drop a blueprint for that. And while that is setting up, let's grab some more belts. I think we're going to be... Yeah, we definitely need some more belts. Okay. And some of this other stuff, we'll take care of that later. Alright, the spray coater needs steel. It needs the plasma exciters. It needs these circuit boards. And it needs the microcrystalline component. Man, that is a mouthful. Okay, so that is going to craft some of those for us. Hopefully enough by the time we need them. Alright, so we are, like I said, we're working towards the structural matrix, which is over here. We've completed the task of getting the plastic and the organic crystals. So next up is the titanium crystals, and we also need some diamonds. Let's actually focus on the diamonds first. Since we have some coal here and here, we have plenty of options. And we have a little bit of a tight space here, so I think we can utilize this, ignoring these because we will have some builds up here. So we're going to use this space to make some energetic graphite, which we need for diamonds, and then also diamonds. So we're going to add in let's drag this down. So that is 6, 8, 10, and 12. That is going to be our energetic graphite. And then we are going to have 6 of these creating our diamonds. Okay. So now we just need to get some coal, which, I mean, sure we have some in our inventory, but we have these nice little coal patches here. So we're probably going to do something funky. So we need the coal to come in from this direction, and then we need an outgoing belt for the graphite, which will go all the way down. So we are probably going to have coal come really tight in through here. So it's going to look something like this. Alright, so let's see if we can get 4 of these with an average of 6 each. So that's 6 there. Six. One more. And 6. Awesome. Give those guys some power. And that is our coal. I'm doing it on this side because we could leave this side open for some more graphite, and what we might need that for is, let's actually open our, there we go. We might end up using it for some graphene. So we don't want to wait until we tap the gas giant, because we need graphene to be able to make the items to get to this gas giant. And it would be nice to have some of this a little bit early. So, as you can see, we need a lot of this into this. So we need graphene for the, where do they go? Particle containers. We need graphene for this. We also need graphene for, yes, the Mark II assembling machine. And if I remember right, we need it for the Mark III belts as well, yes. So there's a few things that we need the graphene for, and the particle containers are needed in both the ILS and the PLS. So we will need quite a bit of it. Not a ton, but enough. And so this little setup with the sulfuric acid will hopefully help us get there. Anyways, let's see. So this is going to come in. Let's do in from here and out in the middle. All right, and then for the diamonds, we're going to have those come out over here. In and out. Okay, and diamonds are complete. So the next thing that we need is... oh, that is way too close. There. We need the titanium crystals. So what do we need for that? We need the organic crystals, which we have here, and we need titanium. So that's going to be the iffy part this early in the game. We do not have interstellar logistics systems to help us collect them from other planets. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a super buff stack here. Let's bring that back one. And then we are going to drop the titanium along this line here. We will need to hand feed this for a while, but that's okay. I'm going to make a planetary run to the other nearby planet that has a lot of this mined up, and I will drop a lot of that there. Let's give this some good sorters, some of the blue ones. Alright, and we also needed some organic crystals. Like that. I feel like I might have gone too far with this. Let's just... I'm gonna cut that off and let that bleed out a little bit, and we can maybe tuck that in a little bit better. Okay, alright. Let's... There. That's probably good enough. I'm doing it this way because I would like the diamonds to kind of tuck in over here. And then the outgoing crystals will go right beside it. We're going to have to proliferate these two, as well as the science matrix that is coming out of the labs. So I'd like to kind of keep these all grouped up if possible. All right, so let's see how this is all going to go together. So the crystals are going to go out in the middle. These are going to go in from here and in from here. What are we missing? We're missing titanium. So let me grab some titanium just so we can make sure that this is going to be good to go. We should have at least... Okay, we got lots. Like I said, I'm going to, in between this episode and the next, I'm going to make a run to the other planet to get some more silicone and some titanium. Alright, and something else that I would like to do. Let's get the spray coaters. Nice. I'm actually just going to delete this because we will not need more for quite a while. So that is... We'll just leave that for now. I'm going to clean up my inventory after the episode as well. Okay, so if these are the two components that we need, so now we are ready to make our matrix. So we're going to put that here, which means that all of our materials will come in through here, and then we're going to have one come out through here. So that will be our structural matrix. So we might actually be able to stick these spray coaters just like ducks in a row right here. Let's get those placed properly. Okay. So now that will allow us to have the spray coater here. That's not going to be a lot of room. So we're not going to use this spray coater. This one is probably a little overtaxed. It has 1, 2, 4, 6 spray coaters, 7 spray coaters that it is feeding and spraying for. Having an additional 3, like it was probably bad enough adding these 2. But adding these 3 would definitely be detrimental to it. But not unfortunately, but thankfully, we have some coal right here. And oh, look, we have some diamonds that we have overproduced. So we have all the ingredients that we need for Mark II proliferation. So let's go here and here. So this is going to be Mark II. We have some diamonds. This is going to be Mark I. And let's just get another miner tapped over here somewhere. Let's go with the big section like this. Oh, come on. I had like 8 on this thing earlier. Okay, good enough. What? No power. Okay, so now we gotta try to get this proliferated and in here. So let's see if we can take this belt. Can we place the proliferator first? This should work. Okay, so why is that not... We did not add an inserter for this. Sorter. And there we go. So now we have incoming proliferators. So if I really wanted, I could probably remove these. It's not that big of a deal. Alright, so this is going to be yellow science. Structural matrix. And we're going to get this set up. Like that. And milestone, we have created our first structural matrix. Okay, so the amount of material that we are producing is not going to match the amount of red or blue science that we are capable of making, but there is going to be a bit of a buffer. So, you know what? We'll have 3 stacks. 5 high. Let's go a little bit more. We've got a couple extras on us. So that's 18. We could probably add a couple more, and that will help with the buffering. Oh, speaking of buffering, we are going to need to add in a section that we can buffer this. This is not... I was about to say, that is not proliferating yet. We need an input on these as well. And now we can start to unlock our first sciences. So I'm actually going to... I'm just kidding. We're going to look at the technologies first. So we definitely need this. This is a big deal. The titanium alloy. There we go. And then we are going for... What do we need? Thrusters. Thrusters are down here. We could have been doing that the whole time. And then we can do this? Yes. All right, so that is what we are heading for sooner rather than later. And we are also going to start the process of unlocking other things on the way to the gas giant, because the gas collector, orbital collector. Because once we can start to unlock that, a lot of the graphene problems that we're going to have in the near future will not be problems at all. Okay, so I think we have a little bit of extra time. We can make some graphene. And since we're going to be making graphene, we might as well unlock the assembling machine Mark II. So let's get that going. And if we wanted to add some more stuff, let's get these solar panels into... Oh, what else do we... Oh, the supermagnetic ring. Okay, so let me talk about this for a second. So the supermagnetic field generator gives us the supermagnetic ring, and this gives us a little bit more of an advantage in some areas. It's something that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of, but this unlocks the slope limit when building conveyor belts. So I don't know if you've noticed, but every now and then, if you drag the belt and you go up with it, this is a standard slope, but every now and then if you are too tight, it will have this like 90-degree arc. And you can look at it and say slope is too steep. It says slope is too steep, need to unlock super magnetic field generator. So that is the thing that we are about to unlock. That pretty much allows you to just go straight up with a slope. And like I said, I don't really use it that much, but it's there if you want. So we'll unlock that, and then we can go here with the accumulators. And then this one here. We are at the 7 limit, and then the 8th one would be, yeah, this guy here. All right, so let's get a little bit of graphene. We're just gonna fill in a little bit of this area here. I wonder how difficult this is gonna be to cramp this into here, because we're gonna need some graphite too. So let's take a look. We're gonna need chemical plants, I believe. One per second. So if we had like 4 of these, I would need like 8 of the graphene. That's right, the graphite. And that's if I just squeezed it in here. We're not going to be lining this up with any of these anytime soon. Although it would be ideal. 3 is not that many. I could have swore I could make that turn anyways. So let's see how this would look. Okay, so that is 3 here. I would not be able to get a belt out of here. I could wrap one around the back though, so we might end up with 3. Oh, okay, this is actually going to be perfect. So we're going to have some of the smelters in here. We can probably squeeze what we need out of this. We would only need 6, right? Yeah. Like that. For 6 of these, we would need 2 miners. Seven, and can we get at least 5? We're missing 1, but that's not a big deal. Can I redo this? And I think that covers everything in this node. Unless there's one under this tree. Oh well. That is not a big deal. Okay, so let's get this hooked up into here, and this one... Ooh, just making that turn. Alright, so that is the graphite that we need for our graphene. Yeah, we're going to bring the graphene out over here.
Mineral depleted.
And just go up and over and collect it somewhere. As a matter of fact, we don't even really need to do that. We just need to collect it. Okay, so that's going to be out here and in here. Wait a minute, graphene, come back. And then graphite in. And yay, we have graphene. Alright, so let's take a big chest. We're going to stick that here and give it a couple of those. Give it a little top. And now we have graphene in the bot system. Okay, so we got quite a bit accomplished. Like I said, in between this episode and the next, I'm going to go collect some more of the titanium. I could probably grab some extras over there, but I'm just going to go ahead and... We have 4 stacks over on the other planet, and I'm just going to go grab some of those. I'm also going to clean out my inventory. My goodness. I'll probably just dump these in a chest somewhere, or maybe we could stick a chest down and put some thermal generators, thermal power plants attached to them. Burn that off. Yeah, either way, I am going to clean this up a bit in between this episode and the next, and collect some titanium and some more silicone. Okay, so that is it for me for this episode. In the next episode, there are a few more tasking type things that we will need to do. We are definitely working our way towards the interstellar logistics stations. So we're probably going to do a bit of little bot activities. There are some things that we will want to eventually mass produce, but at least for now, we are going to settle for just making a couple of them with the bots. We might actually also set up a full build for the turbines. This is kind of like the root cause of a lot of problems that you end up having, namely the particles here and the blue super magnetic rings. Yeah. And some of the logistics too. So yeah, we might set that up in the next episode, or we might just do a couple of other things. All right, so I will see you in the next episode, and thanks for watching.